So today I'm gonna speak about Bitcoin, DXY and Ethereum. The main question is, has the market topped out? Are we gonna continue higher? What's happening? Why are we struggling with 64k? Now there's a lot of recent market hype, so to speak, due to the rate cuts. This is something which we should not neglect. So in my opinion, all these kind of macro events, because it's gonna have a long-term effect on the market. So the rate cuts, before I go into it, I want to mention that whatever we expect from the market is already priced in. Okay, so that's why very often we get, like, even in crypto and in traditional markets, we get events like buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Why? Because so whatever we expect and the market expects, everybody is pricing it in. So an example, let's say in crypto, some projects, let's say recently FTM had some Sonic updates. So before the Sonic updates, the price was going up. Once it was already live, it started dumping down and it dropped with 50%, right? So that's an example how it works in crypto. Even with the Ethereum ETF, the most recent Ethereum top was once the ETF was launched. So all the time we get these buy the rumor, sell the news events. So in traditional markets, it's kind of the same. So something to keep in mind. Now let's get into the technical part, right? So in my personal opinion, what we can observe by the TPO chart. So overall here we had this big range, right? So between 61 and 57 we had this range overall. Then price expanded rapidly and we had a trend day on Friday 23rd. Once that trend day was over, we entered into the weekend. So we had Saturday, Sunday, balanced days, but however we were leaving these poor lows. And then what happened over here? So over here, if we take a look at the Binance chart, right? So we did a swing failure pattern of the Friday high, which this trade I'm still running. And I do expect lower price to come until it gets invalidated. However, due to the technical analysis, I'm gonna explain what you should be aware of, what trades you can take. Now, over here you can see the single prints, so we can look forward for the market to tap into them. If we get some kind of a trapped sellers into them, we can expect a bounce. Bounce to where? Probably to just to squeeze the sellers into them. Okay, so let's say we enter into the single prints and price moving like this, then we get like sudden move down, sellers enter, we gotta move up. Break of structure, we can look for entry and we can look for new daily high above these highs, probably entering into this area around here. And we can look for another short to move down. However, my overall target, to be honest, for this move down is 59,400. Why? Well, because it's the point of control of August, first, and second, if you come back down into 61,100, you're actually gonna enter back into this range. Okay, so I'm talking about this range over here. So if you enter back into previous range, you're gonna have a rotation down to the lower end of it, unless you reject the point of control. And we can observe this. Okay, so if you take a look at this, the point of control is coming down to 59,400, and also the current price action. Okay, so something we should speak about is the way we're leaving this range. So overall, I would be expecting, if we left this range, by the way, if we left this range, so imagine this where we are. If price just did this, boom, and you know, reclaim the range low, I'm more than happy to look for a reversal and to have another move up. But price is slowly grinding down, and usually when you have movements like this, an impulse follows. So an example here, price is slowly grinding, slow grind, and then you get an impulse, right? It's the same thing right now. You know, price is slow grinding, you can expect an impulse down. So that's something to be aware of. That's something I do expect. What is the invalidation of 59,400? Well, simply break this range to the upside and break above 65k and have a daily close above 65.3 and just break this low range. Break the small range to the upside. That's it, nothing else. Simple. And overall, if you think about it, if all the accumulated Bitcoin in this area has been distributed up here, you're gonna look forward for new accumulation range and potentially even new lows to be made. You know, it's absolutely possible, because this is gonna be viewed as a sign of weakness for price to continue higher once we come back into this area. So that's something to be aware of. And also, if you take a look, we have lots of kind of lows which are not being swept over here. So yeah, just be aware of these things. And that's about Bitcoin. Now let me just jump into Ethereum quickly. So Ethereum over here did try to break above this range. So I'm talking about over here. So you see we have the range high. Then on Friday you did the swing failure pattern, and then on Saturday you did this SFP of the SFP. However, if we jump into the lower time frames, we can pretty much view this as distributional range, simply observing the price action, nothing else. And over here you can see the way we came up. Accumulation, kind of the final sweep of that, equal lows, move up, and here, right here, is where the price started showing this weakness over here in this area. And I do have a short which I'm running from 2700. So for Ethereum, until we create a new high, so the same theory for Bitcoin, right? So if Ethereum does not break above 2800, you can expect the value area low of this range. And also you can see currently we're being accepted back into it, and we're back testing the value area high. This is a very balanced range, very balanced profile. Also, if you take a look, we do have equal lows. So if we do come down into the value area low, we can look for a bounce in the point of control, then we can look for sweep of these ones. And once price has came into this area, we can look either for reclaim of the value area low, or we can look for a back test of that area, and we can look for another move down. However, Ethereum Bitcoin is still looking bearish. We had a lot of sales from the Ethereum Foundation up here, very nice distributional range. Ethereum Foundation sold, I think, 100 million of Ethereum, so very big chunk of the holdings. So in my opinion, Ethereum is a bit cooked, to be honest. I still do expect we're gonna see lower price to come. Now for the DXY, very nice macro range. So over here we do have the range low, range high, SFP, partial rise, deviation. Of course, if you have a deviation to one side, you're gonna have deviation to the other side. That's how ranges are traded. So yeah, deviation, range low, move up, a bit of a deviation, but you came back in, you back tested that, you move down into the range low. Right now you have taken out that liquidity. Okay, you have taken out the liquidity from pretty much the yearly open, and this yearly opens, sorry, the yearly open is here, but the yearly low is here. And these things, they do work very well. It doesn't matter if you're looking at DXY or Bitcoin. So an example, if I jump into BTC USD and I jump into, let's say, even the Kraken one, and if I jump into the weekly, we can come back into 2021. Okay, so over here you have the January lows. So January lows pretty much yearly lows, right? Yes, you do have the December one, but January opened here at 28k. So over here you do have the January lows, and then they do get swept. Now coming back to DXY. Okay, so coming down into DXY, the confirmation of this being a range low defense, okay, because you do need a confirmation. For me, it's gonna be a reclaim of the yearly level of 101.4, to put it that way. So if you do reclaim this box, and price goes above it, if price does something like this and holds above it, we can look for a very nice move up. Okay, and if this happens, this is gonna put pressure across all markets. Nasdaq, Bitcoin, doesn't matter. If you look left, you do have equal lows, equal highs over here, so you can look for sweep of them. And also you do have a fair value gap left up here, so you can easily look for price to come up higher. But first we need to see some confirmation. Now about Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, for me, it showed a bit of weakness last week. So what I mean by that, jumping into the TPO chart. So I'm talking about this area over here. So price tried to break up, okay? Unable to do that, we came down and we did break the structure of this low, and over here on yesterday's move down, we broke the structure of this low, but we came into the equal lows over here. So this could be, just take a look at this. So we did sweep these equal lows. So yesterday's profile is also downward distribution. On the high time time frames, what I'm looking for on Nasdaq, let me just show you quickly. I hope it loads faster so we don't lose time into that. Yeah, so these are all the levels I look for Nasdaq, right? So here you can see we had the point of control of the upper range. We rejected that. But we right now are holding the point of control of this whole section, right? So this whole section, the point of control is holding. So we have to see, in my opinion, as long as you're below 20,000, you would look for a few of these single prints. So if we do come up here, maybe if we do sweep the Monday high, we can look for a move down into the single prints. I do expect them to be filled, and we can jump into this high volume node. And you know, if we do lose this high volume node, we can look into the voluntary low. But however, in my personal opinion, we can look for a bounce here just and only if the point of control shifts. So if you take a look at the volume nodes, this one is kind of similar to this one. So if price comes down here and consolidates for a few hours or maybe a few days, the point of control is gonna shift. And if we do get this point of control shift, then we can look for a move up. And overall, you're just gonna be making low, higher low, higher low. It is possible, right? But if DXY shows pressure on the markets broadly, you should look forward to this area, right? So PL, PH, poor low, poor high, but in this case it's poor low. Over here, PL, PH is just for poor high. So these are liquidity areas for me, which I do look forward to. But as I explained, this is the first area, this is the second one, as long as we're below 20k. If we do break above 20k, I don't think there is anything to stop us from making a new all-time high. But right now the tech index is, the tech stocks, they're basically struggling right now. So keep that in mind. That's the update from me. I wish you a very nice day and take care.